Buzz podcast. Brad Talking Brad. It's the podcast.
What is up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Rad with your host.
Brad Cat.
We are the Rad Cats. This is episode 19, and we've got some tish to talk about. I think I'm heartbroken. I just went and saw a movie which I thought would totally satisfy my movie desires, but it crushed my soul, and I feel broken as a human being.
More.
I think it left everybody wanting more, and we're telling you right now, spoiler alerts.
Huge spoilers.
If you have not seen the Avengers Infinity War, turn it off right now. Yeah. Whether you're listening or watching, turn that crap off.
Well, here's the thing. You probably have seen it since it made $1 billion. $1
billion, yeah.
In 11 days.
Is that like a new world record?
Yeah.
So Infinity War made $1 billion in 11.
It's the fastest grossing movie of all time.
11 days. That is unbelievable. But yes, so yeah, spoiler alerts. We are about to start chatting it up. So if you haven't seen the movie, you're probably dead, or you're old and can't move, or maybe you live.
I meant $1 billion. $1 billion.
Maybe you live in a different country where you're not able to participate in the watching of these films. But anyway, spoiler alerts. You've been told several times, so let's just jump right into it.
Yeah. So right off the spoilers, everyone dies. Well,
not everyone. Half of everyone dies.
That's what I think. Mark Ruffalo said that. Like, I don't know when he said it, but like a D23 Expo is like, if you think this one's bad, wait till the next one. Everyone dies, and then Don Cheadle's like, dude, it's like, oh, not everyone, a lot of people.
Maybe it was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if anyone took him seriously at that time. But now pretty much everyone is dead, just like the comics. It's kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet comic in 1991.
So Thanos is a Titan.
Yeah, well, they call him Mad Titan. I don't know if he's like, he is big and he's angry.
He's a dude.
Did you notice in the trailer that Bruce Banner or the Hulk was like, in the trailer the Hulk was on the battlefield during Wakanda, but in this they put on, like, he had the
suit of armor,
the Hulk Buster. So
well, even the Hulk himself is afraid of Thanos.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, even he can't beat Thanos because Thanos is just a big muscle man.
Well, he had 2 Infinity Stones when he fought him.
Yeah, but
no, he had one. He had one, and he was kicking butt.
Even still, he beat him with his bare hands.
Thanos had he had the gauntlet on with one of the Infinity Stones at the time.
Did he use one of the Infinity Stones? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Used against the Hulk?
I can't remember. We just saw this yesterday.
He beat him with his bare hands. Thanos did.
He's a buff dude, man.
Yeah, he's huge.
It's gonna be huge. So yeah, half of everyone dies, and it leaves you pretty much empty on the inside. It's almost as if all hope was lost.
Even the credits sequence, you know how like other credit sequences, like all these flashy, like graphic style.
It's just plain. Yeah. It's plain Jane.
Yeah, it's just white, white text on a black background, and it only had one after credit sequence.
It was very depressing.
Yeah,
the whole movie just leaves you empty. Like, it's awesome, but another thing which I don't know if I enjoyed or if I hated it. I'm not sure how I feel, but the movie is so fast paced. It jumps back and forth between like 6 different storylines because they're trying to go through everybody's situation. Which I don't know. I don't know if I hate that or if I really like it. So I'm kind of impartial right now.
I think comic books, they tried to keep all the heroes in one place, and then they had a bunch of tie-in comics to kind of tell the story compared to like the main event. But since it's a movie, you gotta tell everyone's story in like the movie frames. You don't have tie-in comics. No, you don't expect. You want to go read tie-in comics to see them. And I thought the darker tone was kind of a nice change of pace, even though afterwards I didn't feel very good, but I wonder what they're gonna do next for Avengers 4, which I think they should call Avengers Assemble. It's a nice, hopeful title, but I don't think they're gonna call it that. Sadly, I would like them to call it that.
Well, weren't you saying that the title of the new one would actually give away spoilers for this one or something?
Yeah, that's what they said. So they're keeping it hidden until probably Captain Marvel gets released.
So in a year?
Wait, yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually, that would be a little too soon. Maybe like before 2017 ends, they'll finally say what title. Maybe after Ant-Man, they'll say like credits like Ant-Man and Wasp will return in Avengers, whatever. But
That's true, because Ant-Man and Wasp weren't in this one. Another spoiler alert. Just mark that one down.
yeah.
Spoiler alerts
Yeah.
for days. Just do a spoiler alert counter.
I'll just put in the title spoilers to Avengers. I'll put in the description.
Spoilers.
I'll even put at the beginning.
forever.
I'll say like, warning. This
This film is not yet rated.
no. We're not. This is not a film. This is a podcast.
What's the difference? I guess if you're listening, then yeah, it's not a film.
Everything's a difference. Yeah, we'll just put at the beginning straight up spoilers to Infinity War. So you don't need to worry about that.
Cool.
That's
Cool.
basically my movie segment because I didn't see it because I was gonna watch this movie.
I was gonna watch it too, and we
Yeah.
did. We watched it.
We
We totally had chicks there and everything, though. It wasn't just us two.
Even though the ending is pretty
Dark.
yeah, the rest of the movie was great.
Oh, it was
awesome.
amazing. I loved it. I loved the Guardians of the Galaxy coming in. I think
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite bits.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like most superhero movies end in like the good guy wins, but in this one, the bad guy wins.
Yeah, just to kind of have a cliffhanger.
He may have won the battle, but did he win the war? Tune in 1 year.
Yeah,
We have to wait a whole freaking year.
I know that's the worst.
I don't think I can do
At
it.
least you got comics to just go read a bunch of comic books.
I don't want to. I don't
comfort
want to
you.
ruin it for me.
You already watched the video where it ruined it for you.
What?
That
Oh.
video we just watched.
No,
about-
those are possibilities of how it could end.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like that's how it ends in the comic. One of them is Nebula gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and undoes everything.
And saves the day.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
yeah, but I don't think they're gonna do it that way. One theory I have is I think that one of the heroes, maybe Iron Man, will be like so insane, like will be like distraught and like filled with anger that he'll cut Thanos' hand off, and then use it to shove it up his. Never mind. What he'll do is he'll use his severed hand to revert time, no matter how gory. This one's gonna go full R. They're gonna go full R with this one. He's gonna revert time, and then he's gonna decapitate Thanos and put his head on a pike.
So this is who I think is who's going to kill Thanos. I think it's going to be Thor. I think Thor or Iron Man are going to be the ones that kill Thanos.
Or Captain Marvel, but we haven't seen how Captain Marvel fights yet. So
I know, but look, Iron Man and Thor have a personal vendetta
yeah,
with Thanos
and
right
so
now.
does Cap, and Cap can.
Yes, so does Cap.
Cap is pretty strong, except they don't call him Captain America anymore. They call him Nomad. Yeah, he's no longer Captain America in this movie.
Is that because there's a Captain Marvel?
No, because don't you? Oh yeah, I guess you missed out on Civil War.
I'll go watch it.
Yeah,
They still called him Cap in the movie, though.
yeah, because that's before he defected. Oh yeah, I guess they call him Captain in the movie, but they don't call him Captain America. Just call him Cap or Steve.
Steve Rogers. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. I'm Groot.
Maybe he'll be the one to lead the army in the second one, because they didn't do much with him in the first other than him fighting in the Wakandan War.
Yeah. Well, he did.
And Bucky. Bucky didn't have much to do either. He was just shooting a machine gun. And then he
then-
disintegrates.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Everybody dies. The rabbit doesn't die though.
Yeah, it was actually raccoon.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Thor calls well, you've probably seen this, or you don't care. Thor calls Rocket a rabbit, even though he's clearly a raccoon. Ha! Comedy.
He probably doesn't know.
Yeah. He doesn't care much for Earth's animals.
He's a god.
Yeah.
Loki dies too, but Loki didn't disintegrate. Loki
Yeah.
got his neck snapped.
At the beginning of the film, before everything happened,
They probably did that.
Heimdall got stabbed too.
They probably did that because who are some characters that we can get out of the way so we don't have to pay him that much money?
Yeah. But there's what's his name? Tony Stark. He's getting paid more than any other actor in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
That's probably because he's like the Avenger. He's the one that started
He's
it.
the biggest star in that movie. Everyone recognizes him the most.
What was some of his movies before Iron Man?
There's a movie called Less Than Zero, where he was a drug addict, and he was also in a movie called U.S. Marshals.
So Iron Man's been his biggest gig.
Yeah. Before he was a pretty decent.
He was a low-key actor.
Yeah, he was a low-key. Ha ha ha.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Pun.
He was a more like actor in dramas and stuff. He was big for the time in the 90s. Like he was one of the up and coming actors, and then he got into drugs and stuff, and then he kind of fell off.
And then he came back.
Then he came back in a big way, baby. Ooh. But I don't know any of his other films today past Iron Man. He's just today's generation knows him as Iron Man or Sherlock Holmes or that one guy from that movie with Jamie Foxx. You know, the one where he takes in the homeless musician. I can't remember the movie.
Can't either. I've totally forgot that he's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But it's probably because I've never seen any of them.
You know what's weird in the Infinity War? Both people who played Sherlock Holmes, at least an incarnation in the movie, interact in this movie. Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And also Martin Freeman is also running around somewhere. He probably got disintegrated too. So yeah. And other stuff. I don't want to talk too much about this movie because I want you guys to go see it.
No, go see
And
it
also,
for
I've got my own stuff to talk about. This is gonna take up the whole podcast. Okay.
They's got a rant.
Yeah. How about you get your music segment out of the way and try to stretch it a bit?
Try to stretch it.
Yeah.
So you want me to like totally extend it out?
Yeah, try to do it. Anyways, go see Infinity War. But here's the thing: if you haven't seen any of the other Marvel movies before this, and you're not all caught up, don't do it because you'll just be confused. You won't know everyone's character's motivation. Here, hold on. Let me make a list of the movies you should see. I'd say see both the Avengers, even though Age of Ultron is kind of. Maybe see select scenes of Age of Ultron. Just know that Vision is created from an Infinity Stone, and Scarlet Witch was there. You don't need to remember who. You don't need to know who Quicksilver is.
But they totally hook up.
Yeah.
They totally like bang.
Nobody wants to remember Quicksilver. 'Cause he dies.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, Avengers, Age of Ultron, maybe some select scenes. Both those ones. Then see, like, you can see all the Phase 1 ones, except you could probably drop Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2 if you're selective. So that's Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Incredible Hulk is not much with the story. It feels like a completely different movie because they got like completely different actors.
Yeah, it's not even Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it's Eric Bana. That was the guy who did the 2003 one. That one was bad.
It was way bad. I think my favorite part is when it was over.
Yeah, remember the part where they fight giant dogs?
Yes.
But no, well, I guess you want to see the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. You can go see it. It's better. It's way better than the.
But does it add to anything?
Not really.
Nope.
It's just introduces the Hulk, but then like, he's a completely different character in these films because Mark Ruffalo brings a different performance. And then Iron Man 2, really, if you watch it back, has nothing really to add here. If you think about it, because like he does create like a new element, but then later in Iron Man 3 he gets it removed, so it doesn't even matter. Like Iron Man 2 I think is the movie that matters the least. And then you have Iron Man 3, which I think also doesn't really matter.
Who does he fight in Iron Man 3? I can't remember.
The Mandarin. Well, that's a fake guy, but it's that Killian guy.
Oh, the
Arthur
electric
Killian.
guy?
Yeah, the guy who like has the super serum
And he uses his
and
whips.
explodes. No, that's number 2.
Damn it! Then I don't know what number 3 is. I can't remember.
Number three, you don't have to worry. It's this orange glowing guy, played by Guy Pearce. And then there's Iron Man 3 you can skip because like they kind of retcon it anyways. And what else?
Spider-Man: Homecoming you need to watch.
Yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm trying to go in order. So then there's Winter Soldier and Civil War you should watch because those ones matter.
Watch
all 3 Captain America movies you should watch.
Watch Thor. You already said that.
Yeah, I already said which ones you should watch.
Ragnarok. You have to watch Ragnarok.
Dark World. I don't know about that one. You can. Well, I think you should. You can also watch select scenes from that one, but Ragnarok you should watch because that one's fun
and it adds to the story.
I guess Dark World's kind of important, but I guess you can watch like.
See Guardians 2. You need to watch that one.
Guardians 1 and 2. Guardians 2 I don't know much about, but that's I guess still a great film. So.
It was awesome. You haven't seen it?
I watched it with you, dummy.
That's right.
Sorry. Yeah, but see, you can see both Guardians. Even though like it doesn't add much here, other than the blue guy dies. And what else is there? There's Doctor Strange. You should watch that to add more to the world.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of elements from there that add to it. I don't know what else I'm missing. Basically the films I say that you should skip is Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3. They really add nothing. Then you can watch select scenes of Incredible Hulk and Thor: The Dark World and Avengers Infinity. No, wait. I said skip Incredible Hulk. Those are 3 movies skip. Iron Man 2, 3, and Hulk. Skip. You can skip. If you want to watch them, that's fine. But then I should have done this from the beginning. Thor: The Dark World, Avengers Infinity War, you can watch select scenes from or get his plot synopsis.
Not Infinity War.
I mean, not Infinity War. Infinity War is the big one. Age of Ultron.
Yes.
You can watch just like
clips.
Yeah, clips from, and then the rest you can watch are important. But if you're OCD like me and you want to watch all of them, you totally can. Because which I want to do a movie marathon. Now, I'm not going to do it in one night like a madman. No, I'm going to do it like probably over like maybe a month. Give it a good month's time
before. Not bad. Even if
before
you
I have to go
like
see Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is not going to come on DVD before Avengers 4.
What about Venom? What if Venom joins the fight?
I think he's like in a separate universe. Like Sony already confirmed that they're making their own separate films from this. Like they're based around the Spider-Man world.
So is Spider-Man going to be in the Venom movies?
Probably not.
So like is Venom a bad good guy or a good bad guy?
He's like an anti-hero. They're like focusing more on being an anti-hero than that's what a bad good guy means, an anti-hero.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'll see that. I don't think they make it rated R. I think they just need to make it close to rated R.
What about Deadpool? Deadpool's not in Avengers, is he?
No, he's still like the X-Men films.
So he's in that universe.
Yeah. Which they might retcon into I hope they bring like Ryan Reynolds into the MCU and just like retcon it and have him break the fourth wall. It's like, oh yeah, they really wanted me to act in it, so here I am. Ha! But I can't really kill anyone in graphic ways, so I gotta keep it PG-13. I just want them to do that. Just break the fourth wall in one scene, and it's like, oh, okay, good.
Well, one of our buddies, he was telling me about. He's read all the comics, and he was telling me a little bit about how Wolverine hates Deadpool. Or no, he doesn't hate him. I think it's like a love-hate, but I think he's afraid.
He can't stand him.
Yeah, he's afraid because he's not afraid of Deadpool. He's afraid that the world's gonna end and that Wolverine and Deadpool are the only two left because neither of them can die.
Oh yeah,
They're both immortal,
that'd be horrible.
and he doesn't want to live with Deadpool forever.
Wait, could Wolverine survive being erased? Because like, wouldn't his cells start to try to regenerate when he's starting to disintegrate?
Well, I remember in one of the Wolverine movies how his girlfriend tried to
Yeah.
kill him.
Oh yeah, X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah, where he like is disintegrating, going
Yeah.
away.
That would be interesting. Like someone with regenerative powers, they start to disintegrate. Would they start to reform afterwards? Like after they disintegrate, they reform, or would he just straight up disintegrate? That's an interesting thought. They don't have any characters who regenerate health. I think, well, Thor doesn't because he got his eye gouged out.
He's a god.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the rundown of what movies you watch before Infinity War. But it's already been 2 weeks. I mean, a week since it came out when we watched it. When we watched this.
We watched it a week late.
Yeah. So
because we were busy last weekend.
So, I guess you could wait till it comes on DVD and get caught up. I guess like. You can go watch Ant-Man and the Wasp this summer if you've seen the first Ant-Man. And then...
One of my favorite superhero movies.
Yeah.
I think Thor Ragnarok, though, was by far my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah. I think Winter Soldier is still my favorite because of how unexpected the plot twist is.
That's true. That it does have a good plot twist.
Yeah. And it's also just a really good action movie. It's a really good conspiracy. Yeah. That's the MCU rundown and our thoughts on Infinity War.
Go check it, baby.
I don't think your kids should go see it because they're gonna be sad. Like I think you need to explain to them. Okay, this is gonna be a build up.
Everybody dies.
I think you should wait for them to see it. A year later before the second one comes out, just so they not too sad.
I feel like most kids won't care. They'll watch the film.
Yeah.
They'll be sad for the amount of time spent in the theater, and then they'll walk out and be fine.
But I think Avengers 4 is going to probably be my most anticipated film.
And that's supposed to be the last Avengers, right?
Maybe until they do another Avengers where it's a different bad guy in phase.
I know, but won't they have
4.
all different actors?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because all their contracts are up.
Yeah, pretty much. They might just do that.
Nah.
Or they might come back for or they might come back in a short part. I don't know. Depends on how many they kill off.
Well, I just hope they all die. If this is going to be the last one, I want them all to die, and I want it to be over.
Yeah.
Because you can't replace Iron Man.
Yeah.
You can replace Spider-Man 3 different times, but you cannot replace Iron Man or Thor.
Even though they're going to have a Guardians and Spider-Man movie confirmed, and Black Panther 2 is confirmed, so they're going to have all those movies. So obviously
those guys
the
live.
disintegration is probably going to be undone just like the comic book, but they're probably going to do it a different way than what the comic book they're drawing inspiration from. But so don't get too sad.
Get glad.
Yeah.
But it kind of ruins it. It's like
only had a time machine.
kind of ruins it though, because it's like you're expecting it now because you already know those movies are confirmed, which is fine, whatever.
But right now, if you want to be emotionally invested, just say oh man, oh man, how are they gonna get out of this one?
Oh no.
Okay, and that's it for the MCU rundown. And now Sky, go with the music.
Question.
Huh?
Before we start, what does MCU stand for?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Cool. All right, so moving on to the whole music segment.
Yeah.
For those of you that are into popular culture music, you probably already know this, but Post Malone, our boy Posty, just dropped his new album called, I don't want to screw it up, called Beer Bongs and Bentleys. And it is actually really, really good. He's got tons of singles on there.
Isn't it Bentley a car?
Yeah. He's got
beer bong?
Yeah.
Like you
beer bongs and Bentleys.
You smoke a beer through a
Maybe it's beer bongs and Bentleys.
Oh, beer, bongs.
No, well it's not. It's like beer bongs, one word, and Bentleys.
Oh, so it's
all
like he
lowercase too.
pours beer in the bong and he smokes it, get drunk and high at the same time.
I have no idea.
I guess I have to look up what beer bong means. I've not really listened to this album. I've listened to a few Post songs. I listened to Rockstar. That's a catchy one.
Candy Paint.
Yeah.
Well, it's got tons of hits. Let me just read you off the big hits that are on it.
Yeah.
It's got Rockstar. It's got Psycho. It's got a song called Stay, which I really like. It's kind of a slow love song. He's got Candy Paint.
Listening to this after watching Infinity War is like, why are we listening to this? This is kind of sad.
Because it is sad. It does not have his most famous song. I can't even remember the name of it now.
I think it would have been easier if for
my
people to
called.
digest if they called Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and then call the other one Part 2. It's like, oh, this is Part 1, so it's obvious it's going to be more hopeful for the sequel. Or, they'll do whatever. It'll be okay. Everything's, Bob Marley, everything's going to be all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you done with your music segment?
I don't know, you kind of wanted me to stretch it out, and then you totally went back to the movie segment.
I'm sorry.
Quick whipping.
I guess I stretched it out, sorry. So, unless you got two for this week.
No, I kind of like... I mean, there's not much more to say about the album. Go check it out. Yeah. Post Malone's a really rad dude, and he's super young, dude. He's like 21 or 22.
We're supposed to have a guest on this week.
We were supposed to have a guest,
but he didn't show up. He might be asleep.
Yeah, I think something come up. He was busy, so.
Although he might be down. He might still be down this week. So we could probably get him on for the podcast for next week. So.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. So maybe expect that.
Yeah.
Also,
if you don't, the guest, his name is he goes under the Twitch BW Cole.
He's been in some of our videos. So
yeah, so he was in the Super Nintendo video.
He was also way back when. Well, we won't ruin it because we are gonna have him on the show eventually. So more about that in the future.
Yeah,
but also,
anyways, he streams on Twitch. It's he goes under the BW Cole. So go check him out.
He's a rad cat. He's dude.
More entertaining than I am. He actually can he actually can do commentary better than I can.
Just takes practice, baby.
Yeah, I know.
You can do it when we're on there with you.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
That's the problem. Well, that is the problem. It's just me. It's kind of hard to play off dialogue when it's just one person. That's
what she said.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not. But yeah, so another thing, just kind of, and we'll explain more about this in the future. We are going to be leaving this studio. We are moving to a different place.
Yeah.
Completely. So
maybe more details next week.
Yeah, more details later. So I think we'll be able to do one more episode of the podcast, and it'll kind of be like season 1 finale of the podcast.
Yeah.
Is that fair enough to say, or should we do like a season 1?
Yeah, every season could be 20 episodes. So there you go.
That's cool. Yeah.
Each season's 20 episodes, so there you go. Bam.
Ba-bang, baby. So, yeah, anyway, more of that to come in the future. So, for now...
Eventually get to that big 100.
100, baby. Woo! Yeah, so, excuse me, more of that to come in the future. We're actually super excited, so that, I don't know, we haven't really got our studio/house picked out yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's big enough for all of us. We'll be getting 2 new roommates that you guys have seen, and they're beloved on the show.
They're cousins.
It's cousins. Yeah, it's Zay and Brennan. So more to come in the future with that.
They're not my cousins, but
we might take a little break, is what I'm trying to say. We might take maybe a 2 or 3 week break from
readjustment.
From
restructuring.
Yeah, we'll take a 2 or 3 week break from YouTube. We'll do like some vlogs, like some update
maybe
vlogs.
Maybe I'll do some meme posts on my other channel.
Yeah, we should like keep people updated on social media as well.
Yeah,
We are terrible at it. You're better at it than I am. You at
Yeah.
least post on Twitter. I post nothing on Facebook or on Instagram. Sorry, and Facebook. I post nothing on Zachiza. But no, it's just a lot. We're gonna be moving. We're also I for me personally, Thane is actually rocking 2 jobs, but I have a lot of filming gigs coming up too. So
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I've got a lot. There's just a lot going on, so we might take a little bit of a break.
Yeah. But yeah. So on to the next thing, talking about and it's if
More
you
rants.
yeah, if you haven't watched previous episodes before, which I think you should. I mean, I do. I mean, I can't jump in on a podcast. It's kind of hard for me. I have OCD about that stuff. When you let me think. If you've seen the previous podcast, yes, I've expressed my
Undying love.
more like my disappointment and hatred for Microsoft.
As
Not
far
ex-
as like video games go, you're okay with like Windows and stuff, right?
well, their operating systems haven't been very good lately. I mean, Windows 10, like Windows 8, if you remember, I will not forgive them for the ambassador, that little thing you click up and goes like ah
Explosion.
But yeah, if you don't know what I mean, just look it up. I think it's called the Ambassador. It's a little thing in Windows 8 you clicked on, and instead of the little small menu, it just like covered the whole screen in
Ruins
tabs,
your life.
and you're like, why?
Did you just puke?
What?
Microsoft, you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh, did Windows just puke?
Does Windows puke all over my computer? I can't find anything. But LeBron James. LeBron James.
He is actually playing really, really well.
Okay,
They've
that's good.
beaten the Raptors 2-0, and I'm sure Drake is devastated.
That's good. That's okay.
Drake's a Toronto
He's from
guy.
Toronto, yeah.
He's a Canada dude.
But he's friends with what's his LeBron, so it's okay.
And he's friends with Ninja.
Yeah.
Boom.
We be friends with a famous person. But anyways,
You know what? Actually, speaking of that, I do know a guy that's a professional pogoer that lives around here, and I'm going to be filming a video for him.
is his name Biff?
Yeah.
I know he's like he's my brother-in-law's sister's husband. Yeah, so I have somewhat relations to him.
That's cool. But yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll have him on the podcast, and he can tell us
So
a little bit
I
about
personally know the best pogoer in the world.
one of the best.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. In our
He is
small...
the pogo championship he's the pogo champion in America.
Yeah, and he also has the world record for the highest pogo jump. I think it's like 27 or...
I don't know his last name. What's his last name? I can't-
Hutchinson.
Biff Hutchinson. There you go.
So
I just known him as Biff for a while,
we'll try and get him on the show. I know he has a lot of free time right now, so
which I guess is short for Buford.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know Biff's his real name. I think that's what they call him.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. We still refer to him as Biff.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, that could be something that we could do in the future. We'd have to do it quick though. That's why I'm saying like we might be taking a week or 2 week break from
Yeah.
doing YouTube stuff. We'll do update vlogs, keep people
Yeah.
updated, but there's just a lot to do in these next couple weeks, so
Yeah.
kind of crunch time. I think
Crunch time.
it'll be less stressful when we are moved in and
Yeah.
all unsettled. So all settled in. Sorry, not unsettled.
Unsettled.
All settled in.
I'll probably be unsettled too when you find a dead body in the crawl space.
Let's just be sure not to film it.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Shaggy.
but anyways, back
Was it
to my
Scooby?
Microsoft rant.
Answer my question.
What?
Was it Shaggy or Scooby that you just did right there?
I don't know. I just did myself.
I think that's Scoob. Like
Really?
Scoob.
I don't think
Okay.
Shaggy ever laughs like that. He's like, yo, zoinks.
Does Shaggy ever laugh?
No.
Like Scoob.
I don't think he ever does. He's like, Zoink, Scoob!
But he does eat dog food.
Yeah. These Scooby snacks.
Nobody ever addresses that. It's like, this guy eats dog food.
And luckily the actual Scooby... Actually, I think they have two different Scooby snacks. They have one as a dog food and one as a graham cracker.
I don't think he eats any Scooby snacks
But I
in
think
the
the
movies,
more popular
though.
one is a graham cracker.
He doesn't eat Scooby snacks in the movies.
Here's the thing. Here's a crazy thing. How does Scooby have his own brand of snacks when they're not that big? Like, they're not that, like, world famous. They have their own brand of snacks.
I eat Scooby-Doo fruit snacks.
Unless they call them Scooby snacks and they're like a different brand, like they're from Purina dog snacks. I don't know.
Well, what kind of dog is Scooby-Doo?
He's supposed to be a Great Dane.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
I mean, look at his size. Look at his size. He's huge.
And he's got like a hot dog wiener tail.
Yeah. Yeah, Scooby's a Great Dane. I think you're remembering his tail wrong. It's like a thin one, it's thick and then it goes narrow.
I don't know. I remembered like a Scooby-Doo little wiener tail.
Is this the Mandela effect? We having the Mandela effect?
I think
right
we
here?
are having the Mandela effect.
Scooby Dooby Doo. If you look that up, I'm gonna tell about my hatred for Microsoft.
Scooby-Doo.
So, anyways, Microsoft.
I think you're having the Mandela effect.
No, I'm pretty sure.
He's got a long wiener-looking tail.
It does. In the movies, it's more. Oh, I guess he has like a cat tail.
Yeah.
In the movies, it's more like a dog tail.
Totally scratches the piss out of my case.
Sorry.
No, I did it too.
So, anyways,
and his snack boxes do actually say Scooby snacks. So
I know, but like, yeah, I know that, but like, how does he have his own brand of Scooby Doo food? It doesn't make sense. Like, he's not world famous according to the canon of the TV show.
Even in the movie, he's got the long wiener tail. Just so you know.
Well, I thought they had a more realistic dog.
I think you just had the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I did.
It just affected all over you.
I thought they were gonna go for a more realistic dog tail, but I guess they go for a monkey tail or something. They drew a monkey tail on him. Because don't usually animated dogs usually have like it's like begins like thick like that, but then it like narrows, kind of like an actual tail.
I don't know. It just depends.
The actual dog's tail.
I don't know, Charlie.
But anyways, yeah, Microsoft. They're in their gaming in the game universe, you know, in the year of like 2001, they decided to introduce the Xbox to the world,
which was amazing.
Yeah, which I admit their first console was pretty good. And
the reason being is because it had really good video games.
Yeah, you know, also had really good video games. The Dreamcast, but Sega was just like, for one, the Saturn. Let's go back to the Saturn. Okay, go back to the Saturn. It's the first E3, I think, like 1995, and they announced the. I think it's 1995 or 1994. One of those years, they announced the Sega Saturn. It's gonna be like they're gonna say like it's like a $399.
That's expensive.
Yeah, for the time it was. And it said we're stocking at Toys R Us in a week or something, and then the next conference over, PlayStation just goes, now we'll announce the price. Now we'll announce the price for the PlayStation, and just one guy walks up and he goes $299, and then walks off. It's like, oh, roasted. And that's kind of what happened to the Saturn. PlayStation just had it better figured out. So that was like a new company comes in with a console and just kind of stabs Sega, but they're still holding on. Like, we're not getting out of this race yet. We still got a rivalry with Nintendo, and now Sega wants to pick a fight. I mean, now Sony wants to pick a fight. And so then they're trying to push the Saturn, but it's not doing well. And so
Let's explain why it's not doing well.
because it was advertised like it wasn't advertised well. It was kind of overpriced. It
Well, this is my big
the
question.
lack like the
What
games
exactly? What games did it have?
it had
Sonic.
It had two Sonic games and they weren't good.
I'm
It
saying
was gonna have a big major mainstream Sonic game, but it got canceled because the development was kind of a mess.
the developers were on coke.
Now I will tell you games that like were worth playing, like that people like on the Saturn, but you probably didn't hear of them, like Panzer Dragoon, Virtua Fighter 2, Panzer Dragoon 2. They actually had like 3 Panzer Dragoon games, and one of them was on RPG. They already had the RPG spinoff like on the same console, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, I watched like a import like Saturn import videos on YouTube, and there were a lot of cool games that were in Japan that weren't in North America. It's like if they had shared half of those games over to America, I think the Saturn would have done a little better. Sadly, it didn't. And so then Sega's like, okay, I know we're bleeding out, but we got to push out the Dreamcast. And the Dreamcast at the time, it was like ahead of the competition. It was like cutting edge. Like it had a lot of quality games. It had Sonic games on there.
It had Sonic
Adventure 1 and 2.
Yeah, and 1 and 2.
And like it had some cult classics on there that people still recognize today, like Jet Set Radio, Skies of Arcadia. Was it Shenmue 1 and 2? Well, 1 in America.
Jet Set Radio.
What?
I wasn't a fan of radio.
Okay, yeah, but people were.
It was
okay.
kind of a weird game. I like the sound.
Ego Raptor was. Yeah, like they had a bunch of those. Like there's other games. Darn it, I can't think.
Sing You By.
They had Choo Choo Rocket. They had that game. They had a bunch of games. Just go look them up. If I look them up right now, I'll be like, oh yeah, that game. Oh yeah, that game. They had a lot of iconic games, like Power Stone from Capcom. But sadly, it was just, even though they had a lot of quality games, it was an improvement over the Saturn. It was released at the wrong time, and Sony was like, we have better technology, biatch. and then pretty much the PlayStation 2 came out, and the Dreamcast felt like pretty much at that point was a PlayStation 1.5. Even though
didn't the GameCube also assist in the destruction of the Dreamcast?
Yeah, well, Nintendo also announced their next console, which is the GameCube, which was surprisingly underpowered compared to PlayStation 2, but it was Nintendo. You weren't going to object, were you?
No, because you wanted to play the Nintendo cult classics,
like
Wind Mario, Waker. Super Mario Sunshine,
Wind Waker,
Luigi's Haunted Mansions,
Wind Waker,
which probably helped sell the console, and Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers pretty much made the console.
Yeah. Don't forget about Mario Party.
Yeah.
And another stab in the neck was games that you could play on the Dreamcast were also made for. I think this was later, but they were made for the GameCube.
Yeah, like they brought, but this is after the Dreamcast died.
Yeah.
Dreamcast only had 2-year lifespan, and while Sony and Nintendo had their quality consoles, there's one more that Microsoft said.
Xbox.
Oh, Sega, you
360.
fools. No, it's just the Xbox. Oh, Sega, you fools. Right. And then they stab them. They stab them in the heart. And then they have to crawl back into their cave and become a third-party publisher because they stabbed them with the Xbox. So that was 2 companies that successfully killed Sega's console-making business.
The game that sold the original Xbox, though, was definitely Halo.
Yeah, I know.
If it wasn't for Halo, I don't think Xbox would be living right now.
Name any other good Microsoft launch title.
NFL? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The only reason Microsoft has lived is because Bungie created, it was like the greatest angel baby demigod thing ever created, which was Halo.
So Sega pretty much had to resort to putting
Sonic games.
It's, all their other properties onto other consoles, even including the Xbox. It's like, all right, we made a deal. We'll put some games on the Xbox.
And then
even Panzer Dragoon, or we were gonna bring Panzer Dragoon back for the Dreamcast, but I don't know if they were, but they said, but here it is for the Xbox.
And you know what's crazy? One game did so much more.
Sega actually did have some launch titles on the Xbox, I remember.
I know, but listen to this. One game that was created that the graphics aren't much better than Sega's at the time. Mm-hmm. One game has completely and utterly destroyed everything Sega's ever done as far as like money making and selling wise. Minecraft. That one game completely and utterly.
What do you mean?
Like Minecraft did so much better in 5 years than Sega did over its lifespan.
The Dreamcast, the Genesis did amazing. It was toe-to-toe with Super Nintendo.
Okay, but that was way back in the day. Yeah. But I'm saying, like...
Where are you pulling Minecraft out? That's like that was after Sega was pretty much...
No, what I'm trying to say is that one video game has completely done... Like, it did way better, and it wasn't made for a specific console or anything. Minecraft, a video game, did way better than Sega has in the last 20 years.
So was Angry Birds.
That's true.
So what's your point?
I don't know.
What is your point?
I'm trying to say that Minecraft made more money than Sega has.
Why are you trying to bring up Minecraft?
It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. That's the point.
I could give one testicle's worth about... I could give less of a testicle's worth about Minecraft. Okay? Microsoft... You know what? Microsoft, they bought it.
And ruined it. I'm talking about Notch. What Notch did. He sold it for $5 billion.
So you're saying what if Minecraft was on the Dreamcast?
I'm saying that what sells a console is a video game.
Yeah.
Not that Minecraft was an exclusive.
Console, yeah.
It wasn't a console anything. I'm just saying the power that video games have.
Yeah, but I was talking about Sega here. How Microsoft pretty much killed them. Okay.
Okay, and I'm saying that. All I'm trying to say is that what makes a console good is a video game. I mean, you have a video, you have a good video game. It doesn't even need to be on a specific console. Minecraft was for the PC. I'm just saying, good video games is what sells consoles. That's where Sega screwed up. Is they didn't have any games. They had no games. Sonic, back then the Sega Genesis was awesome because.
They had Dreamcast had more quality games, just that they released it at the wrong time. It was horrible release time. They needed to probably wait, and of course, I don't think they could afford to wait. Like they had to push it out now. That's the problem.
Bankrupt.
The Saturn did so bad that they had to push out the Dreamcast now.
Do it now.
They had no choice. They kind of marked their own deaths with that.
I know, and it was just...
Freaking camera!
I don't understand.
But, anyways, coming back to Microsoft, here comes the Xbox. Good console. Sega's like, okay, well, here's some games for you. Please don't kill us. And then it's like, hey, where's Sonic? Like, what, Sonic? What? I don't know what you're Sonic, your biggest franchise, but it's like, that was... Oh, yeah, Nintendo asked for those games. Sorry. It's like, you know what? Fine, they can keep... You know what? Fine, they can keep... They have Sonic. I don't care.
They make Sonic and Mario at the Olympics.
Yeah. But then, like, did you know that... Okay, so, did you know that... Okay, so at this time around around the Xbox, Microsoft bought Rare.
Yes.
And effectively made them a former shell of what they were.
And ruined them.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves is not doing so great. Like it's a glorified early access game. But for a while they had a decent track record. Well, they had a better track record when they were publishing for Nintendo, but I just wish Nintendo and Rare could have made a partnership. Nintendo's not in the business to buy third-party studios, and they never have, which is great for them. But kind of wish they could have held on to them more tightly. You know, like just say, please don't leave.
Well, didn't
I
all the
think
game
I think Star
developers for
Fox
Rare go
Adventures.
somewhere else?
What?
Where did all the game developers for Rare go? Didn't they go to Nintendo?
No, what are you talking about?
Like the people that worked at Rare.
They left. They left all of their separate ways.
So
like,
they don't do anything now.
well, they do stuff like Platonic. The guys made ukulele. They
Yeah.
kind of came back and reformed to make ukulele, which
Maybe we need to give it a chance.
yeah.
We only played like an hour
I'll
of
tell
it.
you
You
that
fell
it does,
asleep.
It doesn't capture it. I think it emulates Banjo-Kazooie, the games like Banjo-Kazooie a little too much, and so it kind of doesn't make its own identity.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Microsoft. What was my point about Microsoft?
I don't know. I kind of totally ruined you with the whole Minecraft
Damn it,
thing.
dude. So anyways, Microsoft buys Rare.
Shoots them in the dick.
Oh yeah, I remember. There's this story where it's like an executive at Microsoft who runs the Xbox division thought that they literally were going to get the rights to Donkey Kong because Rare made some games for Nintendo because they used the Donkey Kong IP, only
Yeah.
to realize that no.
Nintendo owns that.
Donkey Kong's a Nintendo IP. Rare just borrowed it because they wanted something to prove.
And they proved it well with Donkey Kong
heck
64.
yes.
That was such a good game. That was one of my favorite games
We
growing
need to play
up.
Donkey Kong Country 2. That one's everyone says that one's actually better. Like, and then Donkey Kong Country 3 is just kind of like.
Is
not
Donkey
that
Kong
good.
Country 2 with Diddy Kong and
Yes.
the girl?
Yeah.
It's
As a-
hard.
It's very hard. It has a better
That's what she
soundtrack
said.
though. Like if you're Sticker Brush Symphony, it's like.
Can't you
But
get an
anyways-
emulator for it? Oh, did you buy it on your Wii?
No, I haven't. I only have Donkey Kong Country 1. I could buy it on my Wii U though.
I'm down to
three.
play it. Maybe
Yeah.
we do that when we move.
Yeah. But anyways, Rare is still owned by Microsoft, but all the important people kind of left.
So now Rare does Kinect games.
Well, Kinect died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're doing their Sea of Thieves, their pirate MMO. Yeah. I don't even know if it's I'm gonna say it's an MMO.
It's a Momo.
So
It's a Mo.
Moo. Yeah,
No.
moo.
I'm cold.
So yeah, that was just an off thing about how Rare bought Microsoft bought Rare and
Ruined it.
yeah.
They
pretty
bought
much ruined it.
Minecraft and ruined it.
Yeah.
They're in the process of ruining it.
Yeah. They've already ruined it. It's not the same. So
Thanks,
anyways,
Notch,
but-
for being a sellout.
But before the Xbox, there's Xbox. It was doing well. They made a little franchise called Halo, which is surprisingly going to be a Macintosh exclusive game, which is going to be like an RTS for the Macintosh. But then they had a falling out, and then Microsoft was like, "Hey, we'll take that for you, and we'll make a new game for our Xbox console." It's like, okay, and this Halo came out,
Do you remember watching the E3 of Halo coming out?
the first one.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I've got it. It's on that DVD right there.
Oh.
We should watch it sometime.
Okay.
It's also on YouTube, but
Yeah.
you watch it, dude. It's pretty cool. Like
You
it's
should
kind
watch
of
you should watch the Mac at the Mac conference the first reveal of Halo. It's really interesting.
we might be talking about the same thing. huh?
Yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
it's like a little. It's like the video game and a movie. Like
yeah.
how am I trying to say this? It's like
It's like a scripted like cinematic, and they like has some gameplay. Parts
yeah,
and
but it's
stuff.
it's like a whole bunch of soldiers drop in and they're trying to invade this base, and then
Yeah.
they finally meet up with the Covenant, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What the heck are these things?"
Uh-huh.
And anyway, the Covenant starts gunning them
It's
down.
different from we should see if it's the same because it's different.
But like
from what I
Master
think.
Chief is there in the end,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sound like him at all.
Yeah,
that the same thing?
They're different. No, I don't think
You're talking
so.
about something
like,
else?
It begins with like two elites speaking like a different language, and then one of them gets sniped.
Yeah, oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're both speaking, and then they
Yeah,
both
that's
get
it.
sniped in the
It was
head.
at like a Mac conference.
Yeah, it was
and,
good.
It's supposed to be a Mac game, but it changed it. It like sold the Xbox pretty much.
That's what's the Xbox has lived on that
Yeah.
for like these
And
last
pretty much it's
20
the only
years.
thing it's got left in terms of like
I know,
Xbox
but
exclusivity.
the last two games have been okay. They haven't been.
It hasn't been the same.
No, I think Halo 3 was its peak. Most people say Halo 2 was its peak, but I loved Halo 3.
Reach, I think, was just like the last.
Okay, Halo
Yeah.
game. I mean, I actually really enjoyed Halo Reach. But Halo 4 was Halo 5
It's the last
was
one to really feel like a Halo game before 343 kind of changed the formula, and kind of made it like every other shooter. But
Made it
anyways,
like Call of Duty.
you keep interrupting me, but
I'll do
shut
it.
up, phone.
I'll do it some more. You interrupt me all the time.
So, anyways, the Xbox, for a while, they got 2 Halo games. They got a lot of games on there. Not a lot of good launch titles, but eventually they did get a lot of exclusive titles. Some on like other consoles. People bought it. A lot of bro gamers bought it compared to I grew up with the PS2 because I could sense taste from a mile. I'm just kidding. I just want to play Kingdom Hearts because Xbox kind of lacked what I wanted, and that was
good games.
RPGs, good games. No, like their games on PS2 felt a little more colorful. The games on the Xbox were like felt more like bro games.
Well, listen to this. I could tell you so much more good games on the PS4, PlayStation in general than the Xbox. Like
Yeah.
Xbox.
And you grew up with the Xbox.
Yeah, and I grew up with the Xbox. But like the game I played the most on Xbox was I played Halo, which was an exclusive,
Yeah.
and then I played a lot of Star Wars, which
Yeah.
was multi-console. Star
Yeah.
Wars Battlefront, excuse me. But other than that, like, look at the PlayStation exclusive. They had Sly Cooper, they had Crash Bandicoot, they had Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of other games that were
Yeah, they had a
amazing.
lot
They had
of-
Spyro.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
they had
still
so
have
many good
great
games.
first-party games to this day.
Yeah, and I can't
Great exclusives to this day.
think of very many Xbox
So
ones.
then here comes the Xbox 360. This is kind of going out all over the place, but anyways, after the Xbox did well, here comes the Xbox 360. It pretty much was dominant for like the few years, except despite they rushed it out to stores and like most of them died. Most of the Xboxes died, and you had to get them fixed. I admit it's probably one of the more disastrous launches of a console, but it still sold a lot, and people still played it more than PS3 for the first few years, because PS3 didn't really have a good launch on games. It was the console worked, but the selection was very limited. And then and Microsoft had a lot of deals with a lot of companies, and they released a lot of exclusive games. Like Dead Rising was from Capcom. I remember they had like a few JRPGs from Mistwalker. It had more variety. I felt like it had more variety, and Rare had some games to bring it. It was when Rare was still kind of rare.
Isn't Resident Evil a PS exclusive?
No, it came out it was first PlayStation, then it came out on GameCube. I don't think it came out on Xbox until Xbox 360 for Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
And it kind of like it was like doing well in exclusives, like console exclusives, not just on PC, but they were on you can only find them on the Xbox 360 console, which I'll get to later. But I don't know if I'll have enough time to do my theory, but whatever, I'm doing it. But anyways, Xbox 360 was good for the first few years, and then PS3 actually started to pick up because they reduced their prices and got a new slimmer model that was cheaper, and they started doing more quality games. When I bought my PS3, my Xbox 360 had less playtime because it felt lonely, because my PS3 started to take over in my life because it just had more games I liked.
The only thing Xbox had to offer was
because they
Halo.
started to release games. They started to say, okay, we need to beat them. Let's do games. And then the Wii was kind of dominating both of them.
Yeah,
but
Wii
then,
was the titan of the time.
Yeah, But then the Wii U came out, and Nintendo was at a dark point in their lives. But it's okay. They came back with the Switch. So Xbox 360 was like, they went through 3 interfaces. The first 2 were actually decent, but then the third was garbage. I hate that one. I looked up a picture like from I saw r/gaming on the Reddit. On Reddit, r/gaming should be obvious to anyone who browses Reddit.
Yeah.
But I like looked through it and I saw like the original layout and the first layout on the Xbox 360. Do you remember it? It was like the like it had the little like folder.
Yeah,
like
the tabs and you could slide
like,
through.
Like it had this soft soothing sound like.
Yeah.
Like a swoosh sound. And it was great. It was simple. It was clean.
Made sense.
It made sense. And then they later updated it with like avatars, and that was still simple, even though it was kind of like stretched out.
And then it came with the Windows update where they wanted to make it like the computer.
Yeah, and it was like all like it had advertisers right there. It's like, what the frick is this? And then like everywhere, like every tab you went through, there was advertisements. I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And it's like felt horrible to navigate.
How much money do you want?
But anyways, yeah. Then they had it just didn't feel right. And then and that's at that time I was like, okay, I'm more of a. I realized I've always been a Sony boy. Xbox 360 was the cheaper alternative, but it's not my console of choice. And so then when the PS4 came out, I bought a PS4. And the Xbox One had a disastrous announcement. But before I bought a PS4, Xbox One's announcement was disastrous. Like, this is the time when they're getting full of themselves with the Kinect and stuff. And Xbox One, do you remember how... I don't think you were here when they announced it, how they announced it. Do you remember?
The Xbox?
Yeah, the Xbox One, when they announced it before E3. They had like their own little conference before E3. Sony did the same thing afterwards.
I don't remember.
What they did is they had a conference before E3 to announce the Xbox One. And at first they were keeping wraps like, new Xbox next console announced this big announcement, this date. And they called it the Xbox One, which I gotta admit is a terrible title. Like, you had the 360, it's like, it's a total turnaround. It's like, yeah. And then they called it the Xbox One, which is like, Xbox One is your all-in-one gaming service. And that announcement, they barely focused on any software, which is games. And they focused more on, like, you can watch TV and movies simultaneously on the go. Xbox, switch to TV broadcast, where you switch to your games. Like, okay, this is a game console. I want games. I don't want just TV and movies and stuff. And they just had one sizzle reel of games. And it's like, okay, can I have more games? And they barely went through the hardware specs or anything. And it's like, and then one thing they announced that totally did not go over well with everyone was like, this console will always have to be online to play. And and physical copies will have two codes for friends, and people were like, "Boo!"
Yeah,
boo.
that's what's stupid. It's like, dude, I bought a game.
So they kind of shot
let me
themselves.
share it.
They kind of shot themselves in the foot, and they had to backpedal on that. It's like, thank you. And then PS4 came out. It's like, hey, all that stuff.
BS.
Hey, here's our PS4. Here's some games coming out. Here's the specs. Can you give us money now? And they're like, yeah, give us money. I think some Xbox people went to PS4 after that. They were like, I don't think I want Xbox One. I don't care about Halo after Halo 4. I think a lot of people dropped it after Halo 4.
Yeah. Well, since I'm such a hardcore Halo fan, I just want to stick it out. There's one more game that's coming out, and I have to play it.
What if it comes out on PC?
Then I'll freaking play it on the PC. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care anymore for the Xbox.
Yeah.
I was an X-Bone boy, dude. I was an Xbox boy for
and
life.
Now PS4 is pretty much
No,
destroying Xbox One because their interface is terrible on there.
And every game
worse
than
Xbox 3, the latest one on Xbox 360. And every game, almost every exclusive, with the exception of
Halo,
two games. Halo and Sunset Overdrive, which are actually worth playing. Well, I don't know about Halo 5, but Sunset Overdrive is okay. But I don't know if it's really worth buying on an Xbox One for. If they release on PC, I'll be like, oh, okay. But all the games that are like exclusive to Xbox One, nowhere else, are like not very good. And all the games that are exclusive to Xbox One and PC, why would I buy it for Xbox One? I could buy it for PC, and that's the problem. They don't have any games worth playing when you just all play them. If you have a really good PC, and you just go play them.
Yeah.
And that's it. And any games that are on Xbox One and PS4, I always just go with the PS4 option because PS4 I actually like and it feels simple and stuff.
Agreed.
And it's like the interface, like the PS3's interface was kind of like, it was simple, but it's like it was kind of like got some time to get used to. But this one, it was like, hey, and like when you open it, like when you make a new profile on it, it's like, hey, here's how you do a thing. Click down to see this, click up to see this. All the way over there is your library, and that's it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so simple. And you explained everything to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it runs smooth. It has no lag, unlike the Xbox, which is always has to be online.
That's what
There's
pisses
no
off
ads,
a lot of people.
except for sometimes when they put Destiny 2 on there. It's like, I did not buy Destiny 2, and like, it's like, and you go over and it says purchase Destiny 2. It's like, oh,
Thanks.
Activision, please get out of here. Get out of here, Activision. Nobody wants you.
You screwed up.
You ruined Bungie.
Or did Bungie ruin themselves?
Probably themselves.
The world may never
I don't know.
know.
Activision's a shady company, always. So yeah. So, anyways, I pretty much went through the history of Xbox and why I don't like Xbox. Why I never really. I only was with them for like the 360 because everyone was playing the 360, and then when I got my PS3, I was like, oh, this is way better.
You're like, this is what real gaming's
where it's
like.
at.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where it's at, baby. And and so
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
yeah. So, anyways, on to my theory that I was having delusions about. I was having delusions about this earlier this week, and anyways, I told you about Saga. When I told you about Saga earlier, I was thinking, like, Microsoft dearly wants to hold on to Xbox One, but as you can see, it is just not
happening.
It's just not doing as well as they thought, and I think they would do way better if they're on just exclusively. If they release some games exclusively on the PC market, they'd still turn a profit, and PC gaming might even come back in a big way.
Yeah.
Like it was back in like the 90s and early 2000s, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And then when like the Xbox 360 came out, it was like I think it's when the Xbox 360 came out that the PC gaming was like kind of went on decline. It was still there, but it wasn't as big as today, as like right now.
It's bigger now because a computer is so much more powerful than an Xbox.
People realize the power of the computer.
Yeah.
And like Steam, like they got a bunch of indie games coming, and it feels like, and more like people are like, wow, this feels way better.
This feels like it should.
Yeah, and I think the Xbox. I know that, like, I know I'm saying this like, not really knowing Xbox, but they're probably gonna try to release one more console, and then that's gonna. I hope that flops. Or maybe they'll prove me wrong. It'll be amazing.
I hope it's amazing. I want them to do good because I want to see good games.
I think that they could do way better if they were just PC, rather than just. I think they should just stick to where they started. But if Xbox in fact is dropped and Microsoft goes back to PC, who's gonna fill the third slot? And there's a few companies. EA might. I hope they don't. I would never buy it. Activision, who knows? They might do that. Call of Duty's up the butt on that console. I don't know. Ubisoft, I think they could try. I mean, they have.
I guess
enough,
Gears of War was another exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Gears of War 4 is for PC.
I honestly.
And if you look on Steam, it's like, well, I can't find them. Microsoft Store. They have their own little store.
Yeah, and I think that's what. Like, I agree with you.
But
I
Halo
think
Wars is
that's
on.
what-
But some games from Microsoft are on Steam. And it's like, why don't you just put them all on Steam? But anyway, I think they're trying to get more traction to the Microsoft Store.
Yeah, see, and I agree with you
Yeah.
there. I think that's what's gonna save
Yeah.
Microsoft is just the PC gaming itself.
Yeah.
So-
But anyways, on to my theory. Ubisoft could make one. I don't like. They'd have to really like push it though, because like I think they have enough influence. One company like, and there's also Namco Bandai Namco, which they have a lot of influence, and they could possibly do it, but I don't know if they would. A non-gaming company I think could is HTC, because they got the HTC 5 and they could make a gaming console. I don't know how successful it could be, but one company, this is where my delusions begin. One company I hope would come back and do it, because I just want them to, is Sega. Sega, I want you to come back. They're releasing the Genesis Mini. They're actually doing way better now in stock. If they'd come back and make a console, I'd buy it.
They just need good games.
I know they have amazing IPs to work with, to mine from. Like if they get good they're re-releasing Shenmue 1 2, Yakuza. I love Yakuza. Like I've only played the first two, but I'm already loving the franchise, and I can't wait for number 3 to get in the mail and stream it. They got Yakuza to work with. They got I'm pretty sure they're still good with Sonic. And they need to study up on the competition if they do. And here's like, I don't know if they'll ever will, because here's the problem. They've been a third party company for so long that if they suddenly do it, they'll have to like make a bunch of legal stuff. Like here's like how they could do it's like any third party deals they made can still be there, but anything to do past this date will be their own property, first party, and any third party stuff they had will still be third party. I think they could do that, but I think there's a lot more legal complications to that. But like Sega, like if they like channel their like old roots of making consoles and like sell it really well, like make like a successor to the Dreamcast, but in this day and age, because the Dreamcast was the first console to have online play, and if they do something with online play that'll be really unique and innovative, I think they could do it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Like they've been third party and they've lost lots of money, and I know they're doing better. I know they're trying to get out of the slouch, but them coming back to the consoles is
slim pickings.
I know it's like I know that like I was like on Monday I was psyching myself with the idea. Oh my gosh, what if Sega comes back? And then I had to go back down to realities. Like the chances of that happening are almost none. But I still have hope. I want Sega to come back. If they do, I'll buy it out of curiosity. Like, if they announce it and it looks amazing, I'll buy it. But if they announce it and it looks very
shady,
I'll still buy it out of curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat.
And that's the thing. Like, they could bring back so many IPs. They can make new ones. They can have like deals with other companies to bring it. I mean, it's like. And they could have like a virtual console like thing to bring back old Dreamcast and Sega Saturn Genesis games. It's all up to them though. I don't think they have enough money. Like I don't think they have enough like resources that they did back then to do it. But who knows? Like they could surprise us all. They could just like come out of the left field with who knows? Maybe this year at E3. I don't think they have like, or maybe like they just had a little Europe conference thing in Europe that announced the Genesis Mini and Shenmue 1 and 2 coming to PS4 and Xbox One and PC. But maybe in like 2019 they'll be like, hey guys, we're coming back stronger than ever.
Well,
But
look at it this way, dude. Every Titan must fall. They go in phases like this, and you
Yeah.
can see Microsoft
Yeah.
was here, and now they are skyrocketing down.
Maybe it's just Sega's chance to
ride the wave, baby.
like have when the impact happens, Sega will jump, come back.
Never know. Like even Nintendo
And
effed
who knows?
themselves for a few
maybe
years.
Sonic. Maybe they'll restructure Sonic Team to actually make good Sonic games. I hope they do because Sonic games have not like. I hope they care. Like I hope they'll care about Sonic. I know Sonic. Like people have admitted that he's a product of his time. Like he's kind of not has aged well. He's like kind of like was made for the 90s and didn't think long term. Where Mario, who's kind of made like a cartoon character, like a timeless cartoon character, like what you'd see like Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse. Like Mario's that. Like no matter what era you see him in, he's like, "Ha, it's Mario," and he fits. And
Yeah.
Sonic, he's like, he looks like a '90s character. But yeah, like that's my kind of my like delusional fantasy, and I know it probably won't happen. I gotta realize that it probably never happened, but
You never know.
I have a glimmer of hope that it could happen. But I just gotta remember that Sega's not the same company that they were like 20 years ago.
Mm-mm.
Like I think it's when they released the Saturn that they started to go downhill. I think that's when the companies changed. There's an idiot who worked there who like there's supposed to be a Streets of Rage 4 in development, and the guy who worked there, he canceled the project because he never heard of Streets of Rage. It's like someone should have went in question and say, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Just because you never heard of it, why should we cancel it?" It's just like
Mistakes.
I hope that guy got fired. There was supposed to be another Streets of Rage game, but I think it got canceled. But hopefully it'll come back. Like if Sega comes back, I hope a bunch of franchises come back. Panzer Dragoon, Streets of Rage, Jet Set Radio, Shenmue 3's already coming back. Toe Jam and Earl, Adult Swim brought back Toe Jam and Earl. So those two, I guess if Sega can strike a deal, maybe they'll be on. Maybe they'll be there. But anyways, yeah, that's my idea. I know there's a lot of other franchises, Rise Star, Shining, they still have Shining, the Shining series, like Shining Force, Shining in the Darkness.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star, they still have. See, they can these franchises that they have can thrive on a new console, like if they put effort and money into them. And Valkyria Chronicles is probably one of the better franchises they've had in a while. But yeah, that's I still have hope for Sega. Chance of it happening are very slim, but
Anything's possible.
there's a chance. You telling
So
me?
you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, and that's it. And that's what we should end. We should end with hope, just like with
With the Infinity War.
we should. Yeah, there's still hope. There's still some of the Avengers that can probably undo this. So it kinda all
Microsoft
ties
has
in.
been Thanos. They have been the Thanos of ruining
Yeah,
great video game franchises. And EA. Throw EA
with
in
a
there.
snap of their fingers.
That's what I think about EA. That's what I think about
Actually,
Microsoft.
EA is more the Thanos. Actually, he's more like the Galactus who eats Actually, he's more like Galactus who eats planets.
Thanks, EA.
I hope. Oh, Phase 4 should have Galactus, or at least the next. I think they'll build up to the next phases. I'd totally stick around for Marvel if they do a Galactus plot, because that'd be cool. I mean, come on, you gotta think Galactus.
I'll have a bunch of new actors though. That might be
I
a
know.
turnoff for people.
But if they do it well, if they integrate it well, and try and do a good torch passing, I think it'd work. I hope it works. I mean,
Maybe they'll do like
they
a
did
parallel
the first
universe.
3 phases. Oh yeah, they already teased the multiverse in Doctor Strange. Like I think that if they did this for 3 phases and people still go see it and it's still like enjoyable to watch, what says they can't still keep going? But who knows? Maybe they'll totally derail in Phase 4.
But you'll have to wait a year to find out.
You have to wait 2 years maybe because Phase 2. Well, Phase 2 starts Phase 4 starts in a year.
But but that's just a theory.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, camera just turned off once again.
But
So if you are listening at home or on Spotify,
if
iTunes,
anyone out
or
there is
whatever,
listening, please tweet at Saga. Come back.
come back, baby. Anyway, like we said, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and we will be sure to respond to them. If you like the podcast and want to recommend supporting it, we are creating a Patreon, so look forward to that. We would love it if you guys joined. If not, just watch it because we love seeing your smiling faces. And if you think we don't read the comments, we do. We go through them thoroughly and cry every time you guys make fun of us.
Yeah.
And then we go to a therapist, and he gets us back on track. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of Talking Rad, the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Keep it rad.
You've got mail.
Keep it Sega.
Sega! Goodbye.
Goodbye.